Hi, so today I'm going to be doing a short video about my piercings. They all are on my ears, so if you're looking for nose or stomach piercing questions and whatnot, you're not going to find the answers here. I have, I think, 7 or 8 piercings in my ears. Most of them on this ear, and a few of them on this one. So I'll go in order from like when I got them. I have my lobes. So I've had my lobes pierced since I was 8. And right now, in both my ears, I have a tongue ring in. Because people say when you gauge your ears, if you don't go too big, you take them out and your ears are fine again. You can put in regular ears. Wrong. My ears were only stretched to a 2, and I still can't keep regular earrings in them unless the backings are they have to be really big so that they won't go through. So right now I have to have a 12 gauge tongue ring in my ears so that it looks semi-normal until I can go out and buy gauges, cause yeah. I do not have the tongue ring because I have my tongue pierced, because I don't. I have another piercing that tongue rings look nice in. So my second piercing would be, right, next I had my tragus. This little guy right here. It was a ring in it, but I took that out and put it in a stud because it was very bulky. That piercing I got about 2 or 3 years ago. I think I was in 7th grade. And I originally went to get my nose pierced, but then we called my dad to tell him because I was really excited, and he said no. And so my mom was like, oh, well, I guess you can't get your nose. But we already filled out all these forms and stuff, so they were like, oh, why don't you just get your tragus? It's a cute little piercing. I was like, alright, why not? And that was nothing. Everyone was like, oh, it's such a bad piercing because it's so close to your face, and it's just like a nervy, weird piercing. I'm like, oh, it really didn't hurt for me. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no pain at all, and 10 being, like, worst pain possible for a piercing. Like a 2 or a 3, maybe. So, like, not even a bee sting. Of course it is different for everybody, but this one, in my opinion, was not very painful. The only tips I can really give you about this one, don't do it yourself, because there are nerves next to your face there, you don't want to get hurt. And first couple weeks, do not try to put headphones in, because, let me tell you, you will feel instant regret. I waited about, 2 years until they actually changed it. But they said I only had to wait 3 or 4. Till I could change it into a stud or a different piercing. And that one was not bad at all. I just went, and it was at a place that closed because I guess they were doing unauthorized piercings. It used to be in my mall, but it's closed now, so. Let me see what happened after that one. I got this bad boy over here. My industrial bar. My industrial is a shorter piercing than most people's, which is why my bar is so much longer. I haven't bought a customized bar yet. I've had this one for about a year, a little over a year. It's really, I can like play with it a lot now because it heals really nicely. A lot of people's don't heal as nicely. They're very fussy and not very nice healing process piercings. The piercing itself was not so painful. Scale 1 to 10 again, I'd give it like maybe a 6, 7. So, the worst part is that it needs to be pierced twice, sort of. They go through once and then a second time to the other side, but then they have to do it with a bigger needle through that same hole, so that's a lot of stress on that one little part of your ear, which is painful. Because they have to stretch it. A thin piercing would do a lot of migrating and it would hurt your ear, potentially. It wasn't so bad though for me, really. That one, I'm not a big wuss when it comes to pain, but that one, the healing process was a little difficult in the beginning, but after like 2 weeks, honestly, it was nothing.
it gets in the way, like brushing your hair, straightening your hair, washing your hair. Sometimes it might hurt a little bit. As long as you get the soap out and stuff, it won't be in pain later. I couldn't sleep on it for about a month. I slept on my other side, which is fine because that's the side I sleep on anyway. I think it's an adorable piercing, and I love it because there's so many different bars you can get for it. I have like swirly ones with dice on the ends, like colorful ones. Like they're all really cool. Like if I really cool, like that's why I like this piercing, because it's like you can change it to so many different things. And it really wasn't so painful. After that one came my conch. Wrong here. Now my conch is this guy right here. That one was honestly no more painful than just like a regular cartilage piercing. I hardly felt it at all. It is going through the middle of my ear, yes, that is what it is. It is in the middle of your ear, that thick cartilage right there. I thought it was going to be very painful because it is such thick cartilage, but it was nothing. I'd give that one a 4. When it went through, like, it was a very hot feeling, like, it was burning. It wasn't a painful pinch, it wasn't, like, sore, it was just burning. It was hot. And, you know, it was a bitch to sleep on for the first couple nights, but then, really, essentially in a week, it felt like it had already completely healed, which was fantastic. This one has, like, a lovely healing process for me. After that one, did I already? Yeah, that was, like, 3. This year, I got a cartilage piercing here, and I got one above it, too. I had 2 originally, but I had to take the top one out, because it was just really swollen up there. I couldn't, it wasn't doing it for me, so I took one of them out. The other one was fine. Which is why you should never get cartilage piercings done with guns. Always get it done with needles, because it's not good to get it done with guns. You know, there's not enough room for it to heal and clean and all that nonsense. So, you know, lobe piercings are okay to get done at a pagoda or a Claire, stuff like that, but really when it comes to helix or cartilage piercings, you need to get that done with a needle at a professional shop. After those came my rook. Now, the rook is the most painful of my piercings, but I love it. I think it was the most painful because, so you can hardly see it because I have such a small rook. But it's there. Right here. This little guy. Now, when I went in, the lady said I had the smallest rook she had ever had to work with, because I have such a small little piece of cartilage there. So she was unable to use a clamp, and that made it a lot more painful. She had to freehand it. And without a clamp, it takes pressure off of, like, you know, the clamp really, it helps to just keep things stable and, like, you know, keep things moving quickly. You know, it's easier to just go really quick. And it takes pressure off of the entire ear and instead just keeps it in that one little spot, you know, like, so it's less painful. But she had to freehand it, and this one, if you do not like the crunch or the pop noise that you get in your ear when you get a piercing, then the rook is not for you, because it was, like, very crunchy. It was just like 10 pops in a row, and I was like, ugh, I was cringing. It was painful because it's such thick cartilage, and she had to freehand it again, so for me that one was like an 8. But a lot of people that, my friend Brianna has it, I know people who have it, and they say, oh, it was nothing, but they got to use a clamp. What did I get? Oh yeah, my last piercing is my helix, which is up here. I just got this, like, last week, I think. See, like, any piercing up here, everyone's like, oh, you could just get that done at a Claire's, like a pagoda, or an Ison. And I said, no, you can't, because it gets infected. So, that's like my helix. It's the very rim of your ear. It's not just the cartilage. The reason why you can't get these piercings done with a gun, I mean, you can, like, it's legal, not very painful at all, but it will be in the long run, because when you have a short post, like those little earrings you get when you get your ears pierced, there's no room to clean it, there's no room to spin it, or play with it, or move it around, there's no room for it to breathe, and when it gets swollen, cartilage gets very swollen when it's pierced, it will hurt. It will hurt a lot. it will get infected. That's what it did for me. They both got infected, but I managed to keep one of them in because it wasn't as swollen. You know, it was closer to the lobe, less cartilage. That was a bad experience. And the worst thing I could have done was take it out. So, just like, so I throw that out there. If you do get an infected piercing, the last thing you want to do is take it out, because that just, once the hole closes, the infection is trapped inside. You have no way of cleaning out it anymore. You have no way of getting rid of the infection except for antibiotics and medicine and all this stuff. And, you know, it could essentially cause something a lot worse than just a little bit of pain. So when you get an infection in your ear, what you want to do is you go to your doctor, you go to your piercing artist, and you see, like, you talk to them about what they think you should do. With my friend Sierra, actually, not really my friend, but close. With her cartilage piercing, I gave her a little tiny, what was it, maybe 14 or 16 gauge, little tiny, like, hoop that she could put through it. Because it was like, you know, she played at it a lot, but there still wasn't enough room for it, so I said, just put this in, it'll feel a lot better. And it slid right in, like, didn't feel like it was being gauged, like, it hardly was, and it healed for her. So if you keep something in it, sometimes if you just change it to something that is longer, you can, you know, help that healing process. So those are my piercings. I am getting 2 new ones. I finished my ear piercings. I'm not doing any more because I have put enough pressure on my ears, especially this one. In the past, like, few months, I have done a lot of damage to this ear with my piercings. But it's my favorite one, and this is the one that I can put tongue rings in nicely, and they look cute. But yeah. Ooh, another thing. Let me throw this out here for you guys. If you've ever had a keratin treatment done on your hair, or like any chemical straightening done on your hair, and you wait 6 months, you know, that's a good amount of time, you'd think, right? That's what it says, you know, only do it like every 6 months. Now, I waited a year, and I got it done again, and my hair fell out. So, that is hard to hide. You know, I've got to pull my bangs over it. I'm always, like, fixing it. I can't put my hair up anymore. Nothing. It sucks. It's too short to clip. Everything. It sucks. And this has been growing for 2 months now. I've been waiting for this crap to grow out for 2 months now. And it is just getting in the way of everything. And it is so ugly and it looks really stupid. So be careful when you get treatments done on your hair. Make sure you have really healthy hair, because it can cause a lot of damage and breaking. And that's what happened. And my hair has been this length for 3 years now because it won't grow because it is so dead. So don't dye your hair too much or color it or anything. And I have talked enough, so sorry to put you through all of that. But yeah, if you have any questions about piercings or even hair, I have done plenty of research and talked to plenty of piercing artists. So you can ask me questions, leave comments, message me, anything you'd like, request any type of videos that you would like. Bye.